During the events of KOTOR 1, after learning of your true identity, the rest of the galaxy simply isn't ready for the Sith Lord Revans' return, despite the former Sith yelling his name at the top of his lungs at every chance he gets.
I am Revan!
And by the galaxy isn't ready, I mean, most folks are either skeptical or think you're mentally deficient for bringing it up.
Is your mind maladjusted in some way?
Even your party members react in ways you can't expect.
What about me? I already knew who you were, though it wasn't my place to tell you.
And as this is one of my favorite parts of KOTOR and extremely rare, as the dialogue can only be unlocked during the final star map, which means I decided to replay the game multiple times to share with you every Revan reveal in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. When first visiting Korriban, you can find through the entrance door to Dreshdae at the corner of the corridor to the southeast, a Sith apprentice named Shardan berating and threatening to torture 3 prospective Sith students.
No, that is the wrong answer. Again, you pathetic hopefuls can't possibly all be this stupid, can you?
Noticing your approach, he speaks to you asking how to best teach the hopefuls a lesson.
Bah! I can't be bothered with fools. Perhaps I should, You, Jedi, you're looking to get in the Academy, are you not? Well, of course you are. Why else would you be here? Let me pose a question to you. These hopefuls will never survive in the Academy. A lesson must be taught here, but I am at a loss as to what form it should take. I'm thinking to spare them the effort of being killed and do it myself. Perhaps I shall turn their skin inside out. Or force lightning. Yes, it's a most impressive display. Or perhaps a bit of humiliation is in order. I could easily strip off their tunics and make them run through the colony. Or they could lose all control of their bodily functions. What do you think? I just can't seem to decide.
A previously hidden piece of light side dialogue when saving Korriban for last. As post Revan Reveal, we can uniquely respond.
Let them go. That's my decision.
Let them go? And what could possibly convince me to do that?
Because I'm Darth Revan, and I'm telling you to let them go.
Now that has to be the funniest thing I've heard all day. Well, fine. Whoever you are, since you've proven such a good sport, the boys can run off. I'm sure your little lesson will give them something to chew on.
Not exactly the reaction we were looking for, as we see the hopefuls do get to dart off, though we limp away ego bruised, with some light side points gained in the exchange. Entering the Sith settlement of Dreshdae's foyer for the first time, we see 3 Sith students loitering, apparently looking for their next victim to bully. If you approach, their leader Lashia will give an ultimatum.
Quite literally, whether you live or die depends upon our whim. What do you say? Amuse us, make us laugh, and we might just consider allowing you to live.
Post Revan Reveal, unique dialogue appears, and you can threaten.
Do you know who I am? I'm Darth Revan. Watch your tongue, or I'll rip it out.
Ha! Too funny.
Falling on deaf ears, we can try and salvage the situation, replying.
It's no joke. I really am Darth Revan.
Good one.
Yes, I suppose that wasn't too bad. All right then, my friend. You've done as you were asked. Perhaps we will meet again.
With the Sith students apparently amused, they saunter off holding their sides with laughter. Bad tidings for the Revan reveals on the Sith world of Korriban to come. When attempting to enter the Sith Academy on Korriban, the guard is not so amused when we attempt to tell him of our true identities, saying,
You are neither a Sith, nor do you bear the medallion of a student of this facility. Please, leave at once.
I'm Darth Revan. I was Lord of the Sith. Let me in.
I see. And who might your friends be?
Flustered, we can respond.
It's obvious you don't believe me, but I really am Darth Revan.
On your way, citizen.
Heading to Dreshdae's cantina, post speaking to the Sith guard, you can attempt to convince the Academy's second-in-command of your true title, saying,
I am the one who decides which of the few of the many hopefuls who travel here to train actually become a Sith. Why? Is it your desire to enter the Academy? Is that why you are here?
What if I said I was already a Sith?
I would consider that an amusing ploy to try and enter the Academy. Why? Who will you claim to be? Darth Malak himself?
What about Darth Revan?
What about Revan? Revan is dead. You may have a natural gift with the Force, human, but you've no gift for lies.
I've forgotten most of my training, it seems.
What an odd thing to say. Even stranger, I do not sense any deception within you. You are a curious puzzle, human. A puzzle with great power. With that kind of power, you could become a great Sith. Perhaps, if I let you. Does that interest you?
Again? I suppose that would interest me, yes.
A strange response indeed. Is your mind maladjusted in some way? You should make for an interesting pupil indeed. I will take you to the Academy, and we shall see if you are ready to join the ranks of the Sith. Are you ready to go there now?
Once inside the Sith Academy, Master Uthar doesn't hesitate to call you out if you hint at greater knowledge.
Greetings, prospective students. It appears we have a late entry. Who do you bring before me, Yuthura? A young human bristling with the Force?
A human that has had some training, it seems, Master Uthar. Very promising, I think.
That I'll judge for myself, thank you. Tell me, human, what do you know of the ways of the Sith? What preconceptions has your mind been polluted with?
I know more about the Sith than you. I've just forgotten.
Indeed. Then perhaps you would care to demonstrate for us the powers of a Sith Master. No? Then perhaps you shall keep your foolishness to yourself and actually learn something.
When speaking to Yuthura for the first time in the Sith Academy, we can once again hint at familiarity with the Sith, all the while knowing our true identity, saying,
Master Uthar cannot prevail against us both. That's all there is to it. It is a very simple matter.
Pupil against master. Sounds familiar.
And so it should. It is central to our beliefs. It is my responsibility to replace my master when I am strong enough.
Speaking of masters, do you know anything about Darth Revan?
Revan? You mean Darth Malak's former master?
That's the one.
Very little. I never met him personally, though I heard he was a very powerful man. Very charismatic. In the end, Revan was outshone by his pupil. Such is the way of the Sith. Why? Is this dead man of importance to you?
Do you think it's possible Revan might be alive?
Anything is possible. Uthar's former master still lives, though he is in no condition to challenge his former pupil for leadership. Perhaps the same is true for Revan. Perhaps Revan is out there, somewhere, waiting to take revenge upon Malak. More likely, what we were told is the truth. Revan is dead. Malak would be foolish to leave his old master alive, considering all the knowledge Revan held.
This next line is so on the nose it's one of my favorites.
So you wouldn't recognize Revan if the two of you met?
Is there any reason I should? Beside the fact I did not know Revan in life, Revan was known for wearing a full helmet and cape. Perhaps Revan's body had been disfigured by the power of the Force. It is not unheard of. Regardless, I doubt I shall be meeting Revan anytime soon.
You mentioned that Revan came here before.
Both Revan and Malak came to Korriban when they discovered the tomb of Nagasado. That was before my time.
That's all I have to ask. Also, he's not disfigured. He looks great under the mask, okay?
Fair enough.
When approaching fellow Sith students, Mikkel is unimpressed by our Sith pedigree.
You hanging around still? Don't you have your own plans? Not that they'll help you. I'm in for sure, you know.
Mikkel, right?
That's right. You might as well just go home, you know. There can only be one Sith this year, and that's me.
Curious, we quiz.
You sound pretty confident. What makes you so sure?
You think I would tell you? Have my brain started dribbling out of my nose or something?
You better change your tone with me. I'm Darth Revan.
Funny. Say that after I'm a full Sith and I'll ground your face into the dirt just for fun.
That's right, Mikkel. Keep pretending to mash on that console. You'll get yours soon enough. Speaking to the Sith student Adrenus in the Academy, we can pout.
Achuta, wonga kun bistulpi kikuyana, dong patugas makya.
I'm no student. I'm Darth Revan.
Kavadumpa ku palia mukapata, bonana chaku, ikung kono bulemarachi kong. Dong nabong siya nunya, kavavolpa mulji kunna. Kavadumpa ku palia mukapata. Bonana chaku. Ikung kono bulemarachi kong. Tong nabong siya nunya. Kavavolpa mulje kunna.
When visiting the Sith tombs, we find the former headmaster of Korriban Sith Academy, Jorak, though his dismissal of our claims is more light-hearted, as he says.
Another idiotic student has stumbled into my little web, eh?
What if I told you I was Darth Revan?
Then I'd say you have quite an imagination. Not a bad thing. But not quite what I'm looking for in a proper Sith. When you look at that, poor Mikola's gone and died on us.
Seeking out the spirit of the Sith Lord Ajunta Paul, he questions.
Too long in the cold and the dark. I am disturbed again. A human.
Now this you don't see every day. This is an old spirit full of the Force. I sense great sadness and regret. Walk carefully.
Do I know you? It seems as if we have met before.
It's then we can confide.
I was here once before, I think. Do you remember me?
I do, and yet I do not. The Force is so strong with you, human. Yet the face, the soul... it has been so very long.
If we had befriended Yuthura in the academy, then after siding with her, following our final test in the tomb of Naga Sadow, she believes you're Darth Revan once you've forced her to yield and shown mercy after she turns on you.
Oh, stop. I yield. You are too strong for me. I was a fool to think otherwise. I am at your mercy.
You ask for mercy? You, a Sith?
I suppose I am. Something tells me that you are not like the other students. I don't know why that is. I was right the first time back at the cantina, wasn't I? There is something different about you. More so than I even suspected.
Only after befriending Yuthura can you have your final reveal and say,
Indeed, I am Darth Revan.
I see. I should have known, right from the beginning. But you are no longer the Dark Lord you once were, are you? You are Revan, and yet you are not. What I sense of your destiny is still unclear. So what happens now? Will you show me mercy? Will you just let me leave?
Perhaps due to Revan's dualistic nature and befriending Yuthura, we have every possible option now open to us regarding her fate, such as...
I can't do that. I'm sorry, but I have to kill you.
I understand. May the Force serve you well.
All things considered, I gotta say, she took that pretty well. Due to befriending her, we can look for an explanation why she betrayed us, which will change her answer, and we say,
Tell me why you tried to kill me first.
I had no choice. You reminded me too much of a time before I became a Sith. I didn't want to think about that.
Alternatively, if we side with Master Uthar without betraying or poisoning him, then he acknowledges our true heritage, if we decide to tell him.
Excellent work, my young Sith. Your enemy lies dead at your feet, and you are victorious. The final test is complete. You are truly a Sith in spirit, and one gifted with great power. Of this I no longer have any doubt. There is much more for you to learn, perhaps, but not here. There is something very strange about you, young one. Something I cannot place. You are like no other student I have ever met. Is it possible that you are not what you seem to be? Tell me, young one. Tell me what you really are.
We then have a flurry of options being,
If you weren't blind, you would already know. I was once Darth Revan. Now I've reclaimed the title. I am Darth Revan. Bow before me.
Ah, I see. So it is Darth Revan, not dead as we were led to believe. And yet you are not Revan, are you? What has occurred between the time of your reported death and now I can only guess at. But you have changed much. Regardless, your destiny does take you away from here. To confront your old pupil, without a doubt. Yes, that is what lies before you. Go to your destiny then, my Dark Lord. I shall say nothing of what you have done here. Should you prove victorious and wish to return, then I and all Sith shall be your servants.
Finally, getting a little bit of respect on Korriban. Though we can decide an alternate route, re leadership, if neither Yuthura or Master Uthar remain to lead the academy, then the Sith apprentices will challenge you at its entrance once you've returned to the Valley of the Dark Lords, saying,
You there! How is it that you're leaving Nagasadow's tomb by yourself? You went in for your final test, didn't you? Where is Master Uthar?
I am Revan. I've killed the Master. You must bow down before me.
You lie! You could never have killed the Master.
I'm not lying, fool. Do you wish me to show you? This is your last chance. Bow down or die. What? You still doubt the Dark Lord Revan? Most amusing.
You are not Revan. Quick, attack the traitor!
But even if it's not Revan, what if Master Uthar is actually dead? Someone who could kill the Master.
If Master Uthar is dead, then he was a weak fool. Now attack! I shall be the new Dark Lord of Korriban.
though they don't live to regret it. With our rightful title reclaimed and the Sith world of Korriban now just a husk of its former glory, we continue on the planets. Surely they will believe that we are the former Dark Lord of the Sith. However, before we depart, there is one last easy-to-miss reveal that may begin on a different world. After escaping the Leviathan, visiting any starmap world may trigger an encounter with Ziagrom, a Twi'lek who addresses you as the Dark Lord of the Sith, one of the few to do so. He will then direct you to a special merchant on Korriban, and back in Dreshday's cantina, the Rhodian bartender Mika Doran, who we previously passed without a second thought, will then begin to offer you premium items, saying he's worked with underground figures and the Ebon Hawk's owner previously. Once he's learned your Revan, he will then approach jokingly dismissing your denial even if you try. He goes so far as to admit he just wants Malak gone, for business sake. It is a bit of a fun reversal, as earlier on Korriban, we're running around and no one will believe that we are Revan, but now criminals will seek you out, caring more about profit than identity, despite our denial. With Korriban taken care of, it's time to visit the oceanic world of... When first entering Manaan's East Central, if the player has chosen it as an early planet to visit, you will witness a hostile encounter between the Sith and Republic soldiers.
Your precious Republic's days are numbered. It won't be long until Malak turns his armada loose on Coruscant itself.
Save your empty threats, Sith scum. Malak isn't stupid enough to attack the core worlds, now with the entire Republic fleet waiting for him.
You're a fool. When the Sith descend on Coruscant, our numbers will block out the sun itself. The galactic senators will collapse trembling in fear and beg for mercy at Malak's feet.
You underestimate the Republic's resolve. We'll die before we surrender Coruscant.
That can be arranged. Remember what happened to Taris. Malak could do the same to the core worlds.
He wouldn't dare.
Now it is you who underestimate our resolve.
Approaching the Sith after their verbal goading, they will believe we too are a part of the Republic and taunt us accordingly.
What's this? Another Republic lackey wandering the streets? Don't worry, the Sith will destroy you along with all the rest who don't bow down before Malak.
We can then respond to their tongue lashing in two distinct ways. With the first saying, "I have no wish to trade childish taunts and empty words with you."
I have nothing more to say to you. I have important Sith business to attend to.
The second, more hostile, being, "You'll want to change your tone. You wouldn't be the first Sith that I've killed."
Save your empty threats. If you're stupid enough to attack me, the Selkath authorities will lock you away for a long, long time.
With the Sith trio's leader apparently not inclined to waste any more time talking to us, his lackeys will only jeer at us as we leave.
You Republic sicken me. We'll do the galaxy a favor by wiping you out. Malak will show you Republics how a war is really waged.
But how, when speaking to the Sith leader then, do we garner a special third dialogue option yet to be unlocked? Well, first, the player needs to know themselves that they were once the Dark Lord of the Sith. The revelation cutscene of the player's true identity as Revan is triggered during your encounter with Malak on the Leviathan, which can only occur after acquiring 3 star maps. So you have to save Manaan after star map number 3. Returning to the trio of troopers, our Sith Lord title reclaimed, we can then approach the leader as Revan, and an unseen third dialogue option will appear in which we scoff.
What's this? Another Republic lackey wandering the streets? Don't worry, the Sith will destroy you along with all the rest who don't bow down before Malak.
Do you know who I am, Worm?
Let me guess. Dark Lord of the Sith?
It's then we have 3 dialogue options that all result in the same response, in which we say,
Well, yes, I am. And don't you forget it.
Revan, right?
We are then given another 3 dialogue options which filter to the same result, and we say,
Why you? I'll kill you. I fought Mandalores and armies of the dark side. You don't laugh at me.
You moron. Revan's dead. And if you try to back up your stupid words with stupid deeds, the Selkath will be all over you like a Mon Calamari during mating season. Now, some of us have serious work to do. Run along, fool.
Unfortunately, we have no means to make the trooper pay for his insolence. With the Selkath's strict rules on no violence in Manaan City, he's safe from Revan's retaliation. For now. The stone's throw from the bickering Sith guards is a really awesome detail that can be missed during your work for the Shadow Assassin Guild of the Genoharadan. Being if you previously joined the guild thanks to recruiter Hulis on Manaan and returned post-Leviathan, he will greet you as your former title of Revan. When questioned as to how he knows this information, he casually responds that he has agents on all sides and will admit he was surprised as you about your identity, going as far as commending the Jedi for faking your death. Although with some consternation about keeping a former Dark Lord under his employ, he seems to want to see how things will go down with Malak, much like Micah Doran on Korriban. Also important is an extremely minute change to the quest, the missing Selkath, as you must first speak to Shayless in the mercenary enclave in Arto West about his daughter, who apparently wants to become a Sith apprentice, and he sends you in to save her. Locating her in the Sith base's dormitory, the Selkath Sith apprentices move to attack us when we first enter. However, if we say we were once a Sith and Darth Revan, Shasa will believe you, even going as far to break the fourth wall a little bit with a tongue-in-cheek quip saying, "Let me guess. Now you just happen to be on a mission to save the galaxy to atone for your past crimes, right?" Which is true. We can then turn the Selkath away from the Sith for all the good it does them. And finally, if we choose the dark side option of poisoning the Selkath's beloved fish god, the judges will attempt to banish us from Manaan forever, in which we threaten.
If only you knew who you were dealing with.
Not that they care, as we still get kicked out. Which brings us to the forest world of... When first entering Kashyyyk, if Zalbar's in your party when you're challenged by the Wookiee guarding the village, you can then reveal yourself when you're taken to Chunda in the chieftain's hall, and although he might believe you, he doesn't care. When you first enter Chunda's court on Kashyyyk, he puts on a grand act, calling himself the mighty and wise chieftain, and making it clear that outsiders aren't normally welcome. Zalbar immediately calls out his brother, accusing him of siding with Zerka slavers and selling out the entire planet. Chunda, though, brushes this off, reminding Zalbar of his exile, mocking him as a mad claw with no honor or voice among the Wookiees. He contrasts this by declaring himself the rightful chieftain now. At this point, you can throw down the Revan card, claiming your true identity as the Dark Lord of the Sith. Chunda doesn't believe you at first. Even out here on Kashyyyk, though, he's heard that Revan was supposedly killed by the Jedi. But if you persuade him successfully, he starts to sense something darker in you. Maybe you really are Revan. Though amazingly, he still shrugs it off. To him, the Sith and the Jedi don't even matter. Zerka run things here, and Chunda has the power. He's convinced that Wookiees trust him alone, especially after he rose to power despite having an insane brother and enslaved father. It's a telling moment where Chunda sees no value in who you were, just power, control, and profit. Also, lots of slavery. And it seems there's another down in the Shadowlands who doesn't seem to care who you are, despite his Jedi heritage. What happens when you reveal your Revan to Jolee Bindo early in the game? One of the most famous moments in Knights of the Old Republic, arguably, is when Revan, after regaining his memories on the Leviathan, is confronted by the crew of the Ebon Hawk about his former identity.
Revan? What are you talking about? Is this some kind of a joke?
However, there is one crew member who doesn't seem to be shocked at all.
What about me? I already knew who you were, though it wasn't my place to tell you. Better off that you know, if you ask me. Does it change anything? I'm not here to judge you. You'll do what you have to do, and I'll help if I can.
So, if Jolee knew all along we were the Dark Lord of the Sith, what happens if we hadn't actually met the Hermit yet, as we as the player have the opportunity to leave Kashyyyk as our final planet, and instead opt to tell the former Jedi directly of our true nature as a Sith, testing if he really did know from the get-go?
Well, welcome to my home, such as it is. Pull up a stump and be comfortable. We should discuss a few things.
Discuss, like, who you are, for example. Tell me about yourself. I saw you using a lightsaber in battle. Are you a Jedi?
What is there to tell? Jolee Bindo is the crazy old man in the dangerous woods. I'm content with the impression I give.
But you use a lightsaber in battle. You are a Jedi.
I follow the Jedi way and I command the Force, yes. And I suppose that makes me as much a Jedi as anyone, but what of it?
Well, then there's something you should know about me. If you were a Jedi, we might have a problem. Because I'm Darth Revan.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Rabble. What do you say?
Didn't you hear me? I used to be Revan. That's no answer. I was the Lord of the Sith before the Jedi wiped my mind. It doesn't bother you that I used to be Dark Lord of the Sith.
Does it change anything? I'm not here to judge you. You'll do what you have to do, and I'll help if I can. I've seen my share of the dark and the light, and frankly, both extremes annoy me. Of course, I have felt rumblings of change. Perhaps you will be of some assistance to me after all. Let us discuss what you came here for.
And finally, when seeking out the star map, when trying to leverage our past, somebody, or something, at least in the Shadowlands, takes our former identity into account, being
behavioral modification would have reinforced the proper mental patterns, as per your instructions programmed 5 years ago.
When attempting to obtain the star map on Kashyyyk early in the game with the aid of Jolee Bindo, he will direct you to a Rakatan computer that hosts an avatar, blocking the path for those that would seek out the star map. Although the elderly Jedi is baffled that the computer somewhat recognizes us, saying,
Life forms detected. Determining parameters. Initiating neural recognition.
Yes, there's the thing. Obstinate machine. I've no doubt it holds what you seek, but good luck getting it operational.
Primary neural recognition complete. Preliminary match found.
Match found? What the... It always muttered something about rejected patterns for me.
Begin socialized interface. Awaiting instruction. Greetings. This terminal has not been accessed for quite some time.
Curious, we ourselves can ask, "Why have you recognized me?" To which it cryptically replies,
Error. Subject displays unfamiliarity to environment. Behavioral reconfiguration will be needed before access. I am sorry. I did not mean to confuse you. I will answer questions to the best of my programming limitations.
We later learn the reason why the computer recognized us, or rather, it was recognizing Revan. But seeing as our memory was wiped, the computer would then attempt to calibrate, sensing our true identity, yet we have somehow also been changed. And therefore, we must then, to gain access to the star map, pass the failsafes put in place by answering a series of questions like a Turing test. Questions befitting a Dark Lord of the Sith.
Evaluation commencing. Result will be compared against the pattern in memory. Just act like you should. You travel with a Wookiee and have encountered complications. Hypothetical. You and this Zalbar are captured and separated. If you both remain silent, 1 year in prison for each of you. However, call Zalbar a traitor, and he will serve 5 years, while you serve none. He is offered the same deal. But if you both accuse the other, you both serve 2 years. What do you do? What do you trust him to do?
Unfortunately, for light side players, as Revan was canonically redeemed, rebuking the computer for such dark side hypotheticals, such as would you turn in your party members for reduced jail sentences, will be met with derision.
Your loyalty is dangerous. Your companion could take the opportunity to benefit by turning on you. Zalbar's family is mired in treachery. What loyalty do they know? Your answer is incorrect.
All in all, the easiest way to pass the test would be to soak up some dark side points, and furthermore, any attempt to circumvent the whole personality test will have the Ricardan act negatively.
Intention of hostility matches the pattern in memory, but the subject has failed to demonstrate required behavior. Access denied. This system will purge the subject as false. Defense mode initiated.
And most likely end in the party's demise. However, we are bequeathed a totally different, rare scene with the Ricardan if instead we saved Kashyyyk until later in the game. Specifically, until after the revelation cutscene, of which you learn the player's true identity as Revan, which is triggered during your encounter with Malik on the Leviathan and can only occur after acquiring 3 star maps. This fundamentally changes the entire encounter with the Ricardan computer, as we can now stride up to the machine, embracing our previous lineage as Dark Lord of the Sith, and it will greet.
Life forms detected. Determining parameters. Initiating neural recognition. Primary neural recognition complete. Preliminary match found. Begin socialized interface. Neural scan indicates positive identification of subject Revan. No further testing of the subject is required. I will brief you as programmed. You are Lord Revan. I am waiting for your request to begin transfer of the star map.
How have you identified me as Revan?
Neural scans have matched you to the pattern in memory. There is no possibility of error. You are Revan, and are aware of it.
What would have happened if I wasn't aware?
Behavioral modification would have reinforced the proper mental patterns, as per your instructions programmed 5 years ago.
Enough! Give me the star map. Now.
This unit has now completed its primary duty and has finished with the subject. Executing final action. Activation of star map commencing. Parameters reset. Stasis initiated. End communication.
As you can see, it's a great way to expedite the star map gathering on Kashyyyk, though not many people would leave Jolee Bindo for so long, thus probably have missed the scene. Which brings us to the final world and Revan Reveal. Surprisingly, Luke Skywalker's words, spoken thousands of years in the future, are just as applicable in the past.
Well, if there's a bright center to the universe, you're on the planet that it's farthest from.
As no one comments on the destruction of Dantooine or Revan's true identity makes no difference to anyone on Tatooine, therefore it's never commented on. So instead, we're heading to Yavin Station, hovering high above Yavin Prime and the moon Yavin 4. If you don't travel to Yavin Station until after escaping the Leviathan, then you first speak to the lone occupant, Suvam Tan, after exiting the Ebon Hawk. When you arrive at Suvam Tam Station, he immediately recognizes your ship as Darvik's and questions who you are. If you claim to be the Dark Lord of the Sith, he mocks you as just another wannabe. Though he admits you're better company than the Trandoshans he's used to, he's also cagey about his past with the Sith, says it's old news but reluctantly lets you in after complaining about his jammed door. Inside, he's surprised you're human and skeptical of your claim to be a Jedi. Even if you insist you're the true Dark Lord, he keeps a sarcastic tone but doesn't outright deny it. When you say you're after Darth Malak, your former student, he finally connects the dots but stays hands-off. Whether the Republic wins or loses, like his other mercenary brethren, he doesn't seem to care. It's a big galaxy. The ruins are empty, Exar Kun is gone, and whatever's happening out there has nothing to do with him. Bar trade, of course, and a few hands of Berserk. That's it for the video. Let me know if you want to see any more KOTOR vids in particular. And if you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. It helps the channel out immensely. Thanks so much for watching, and may the Force be with you, always.